While she is searching through Hakan's private thing, Dennis will pretend she is Lord Hakan will smile because neither of them believe that the accusing he will tell to give him that the photograph. Dennis will refuse. Unlike many people around Hakan, she will not be easily frightened. She will say that if they want it, he can explain why his matter first. Hakan's polite mask may disappear for the first time. He will move toward her. Before that, the situation becomes dangerous. Human may appear. He followed Dennis because he knows she was hiding something. Seeing Dugakun threaten her will immediately trigger Tioman protective side. A fight may almost begin, but Dennis will stop him. She now violence only Dugakun's a reason to call security and take that the evidence. Tioman's will insists take that the photograph and ask Dugakans if he recognizes that detail. Dugakans will say no. Tioman will tell him that he does not ask whether he knows that detail. He asks whether he recognizes him. Duganon has answered too quickly again. Tioman will understand that they know something. After they leave, Dennis will show Tioman that they can explain what Nuri told her. Tioman may feel angry that she investigated without him, but he will also recognize that she did it because she was trying to protect him from another disappointment. The relationship between them will become warmer. Although Nita will be ready to name it later, the DNA result may arrive. Ras will receive that the massive fart. He may stare at his phone without opening that the attachment. His hand will shake more than he did during any fight. He will call Tioman and tell him to come alone. They will meet at the store far from that the villa and the dorm. For several minutes, Rether will want to open that the result. Tioman may joke nervously that after all this, perhaps the test will say that they are cousins. Ras will be laughing. Tioman may finally tell her to open it. Ras will lead. His expression will reveal that the answer before he speaks. The probability of a biological sibling relationship is extremely high. Tioman will look away toward that the sea. Ras' eye will fill with the hairs, but he will not move toward him. He promised himself he would let Tioman decide what comes next. Tioman will ask, so why I am supposed to call you now? Ras will why answer Tioman you want. Tioman will look at him for a long time. Then he will say the world has been no sight since childhood. Every other brother Ras will break. He will pull Tioman into his arm, but the hug will not be perfect. Tioman will remain stiff at first because fear of the distance cannot disappear in one movement. Then slowly he will hold Ras back. For a few seconds, two brothers separated as their children will finally stand together again, but the happiness will not last. Our car park at the distance will photograph them. Duganon will receive that the picture. He will send it to Hakan. Hakan will open that the message and see Aras embracing the woman. Under that, the males Duganons will write only one sentence. They now and Hakan will understand that the next stage of the fight has begun. Hakan's secret war when Ras and the Tioman now they are brothers. The story of the Daha 17 can move into a completely new phase. The mysterious will no longer be his damage. The questions will become Tioman's. Why was Danny turned into Tioman? The difference will prevent that the story from staying in the same place. Ras has achieved that the goals that they brought him to the boardroom, but instead of giving him pieces, the answer opened a larger door. Ras will want to comfort Hakan immediately. Tioman will stop him. This reversal will surprise Ras because Tioman is normally that the impatient one. Thomas one explained that the Hakan has lied for the years. If they confront him before understanding this reason, he will destroy evidence and create another story. They need to learn what happened before Hakan releases how much they know. Ras will smile slightly and say that the Thomas is finally learned patience. Thomas will tell him not to get used to it. Their growing brotherly connected with great natural humor in an otherwise heavy story. Ras may start recognizing habit that the Tioman has had the chills. Tioman may become annoying every time Ras brings up an embarrassing memory. This can make the relationship feel human instead of turning into sentimental. They will investigate that the night their parents died. Ras remembered the official story and accident, conclusion, social service, separation, but now that they must question every part of it. If someone deliberately changing their identity, perhaps that the separation itself was not accidental. They will return to the neighborhood where they live as the children. Us has avoided that the place for the years because it carries too much pain. Going back with the Tioman will be emotionally difficult. Tioman will remember almost nothing at first. They may stand outside that the remain of their old home or the building that replaced it. Ras will point Thomas Plessis that no longer exists. If will Thomas whenever their mother used to save where Damir once broke a window with a bars when their father repaired things on the weekend. Thomas will listen quietly, then he walk away toward an old tree without knowing what. Ras will freeze. As a children, they used to hide small object near that the tree. Tom and body remember a place his mind forget. They will dare near that the rose and near nothing at first. Homer may feel foolish and then Ras will discover a rusted metal box buried deeper into the soil. Inside could be a childhood object, including a photograph of the family that Rastro was Lord. Government will hold that the picture for the first time. He will see his original parents clearly. A memory will return. His mother is laughing. Ras is beside him. Someone else is standing near the edge of the memory. Hakan Thomas will drop that the photograph. Ras will ask what happened. Thomas will say he remember Hakan being there before that the accident. This is a dangerous new clue until new Hakans could climb that the meet Thomas only after that the tragedy. If Thomas remember him from before, then Hakans connected to their family starting earlier. They will sort that the box future and find an old business card belonging to a company connected to the Akayas. Ras will remember his father going with someone on the phone shortly before that the family tragedy. At the first he was too young to understand. Now he may wonder whenever his father worked with the hacker and discovers something about him. The brother will stand investigating their father's past. Leila will become essential here because he has access to the family beside record that Ras cannot reach. They give her a meaningful beyond romance. They will decide to help even though she is still rebuilding trust with the Aras. She will tell him that helping does not mean everything between them fixed. Aras will say he understands. Leila will ask Hakan office while he is away and search old company file. She is now his habit well enough to understand whenever he has sensitive document instead of finding direct evidence she may discover payment made to be insurance around at the time damage disappeared. The payment continue for several years. The recipient is listened enter a shortened company name. Leila will photograph that the documents before she leaves. She may notice a log driver. She will detail opening it mean closing a line with her father. Then she remember his fear when Ras spoke about his brother. She opened it since is a photograph newspaper clipping about the death of Ras and the Damir parents. Hackens at keep if for the years on the clipping one name is circled in pen. It belongs to the investigating police officers. Leila will this is not that the behavior of a man who one become involved afterward. Hacken has been following that the case from the beginning. Meanwhile, Hacken will not remain passive. He will now that the direct violence against Ras may push the man even further away. Instead, he will attack that the brother trust. He may meet Yoman privately and admit part of the trust. Second, we say that the yes, Yoman will adopt it after a tragedy. Yes, his birth name was Amir, but he will insist that he had that the trust to protect him. Yoman will ask protect me from who? Hackens will answer from Ras. This will be extraordinary slide because it used Yoman's share of conflict with Ras has proved Yoman's Ras may claim that the brother father was involved with dangerous people, but Ras were places around these people around that the tragedy and that the keeping them hidden was the only way to save him. He will say he is chained that the boy name because someone was searching for the surviving children. Someone will ask why he never told him why he became old enough. Hakan will say that by when Toman was already his son, the emotional manipulation will be strong. Become Hakan may love Toman in his one damaged way. A villain who feels nothing will be easier to project. Hacker's greatest power will coming from the missing real fashions with terrible choices. He may remind woman of every moment he cried for him, every hospital visit, every birthday, every time he protected him. He will ask which one the secret is and interior life. Humans will know how to answer. This is exactly what Hakan wants. When humans later meet Ras, he will be quieter. Ras will notice immediately. He will ask what Hakan said. Human will intentionally refuse it to explain. The old pattern between them will return to the trust. Ras will think human is protected Hakan. Humans will accuse Hackers of waiting every answer to prove Hakan is evil. Their argument will bring intense. Human may search to find me and decide I belong to your story. Aras will be deeply hurt. He will answer that he never said human had to fate that the people who rise him. He only want that the trust. Humans will answer with Ras will accept that the trust if he should that the Hakan save his life. Ras will pause, then he will say yes. The answer will disarm Human. Ras will explain that he want his brother not to want. If Hakan served them, Ras will thank him for that. But saving a child does not give something the right to steal his identity. This will become a central moral conflict. Human will eventually tell Ras' second version. Ras will recognize a weakness in the story. If dangerous people were searching for Bout brother was only them identity changed. Why was Ras left visible in the system? Why did no one warn even him? This story makes no sense. Human will listen it too. They will decide they need that. The police officer, this is name Hacken Circle. The officer may now that the interiors and living far for the boardroom. Ras humans and Layla will able to meet him. The journey can give the three characters time to gather away from their Kai's mansion and the school conflict. The interiors officer will intentionally refuse to speak. When Ras gives his father name, the old man's expression will change. He remembered the case. He will reveal that the parents that were officially written as an accident. But he never believed it. Similar detail did not fit. A witness disappeared. A report was dead. More importantly, someone powerful pressured that the department to close that the investigator and quietly Ras will ask with her that the person was Hakan. The officer will say he never proved it. But Hackens visit at the station. Human face will harden. The officer may also reveal something unexpected after that the accident. Bout boy were supported to the remind together temporarily. Before that they could happen paperwork arrived claiming that the damage requires special medical care and have been transferred. The signature authorities that the transfer was fake, but the time the officer noticed the child was gone, Ras will have to leave that the room because that the information is too painful for years. He blamed fact for losing his brother. Now he learns someone may have deliberately separated them. Humans will follow from outside. Ras will say that he should have prediction from Human will become angry but not at Ras. He will tell him older brother that he was 5 years old. A 5 years old cannot defect a dark police document and the powerful family. Ras will say he promised their mother. Humans will ask whether their mother told him to spend his whole life punishing himself. Ras will have no answer. For once Human will become Daddy's strongest brother. He will tell Ras that finding him is enough. This will may be the first moment Human willingly reaches for their shoulder before Ras reaches for him. Back in the boardroom, Dennis will continue following that the storage room evidence. She may discover that the Duganers has similar boxes after his visitor there tell her she is now active helping hacker inside that the past. Dennis will want Tom and Tom will decide not to confront because they need to know where he removed that the boxes. They will follow him. Their trail may lead to an abandoned workshop or warehouse connected to one of the Hacker oil companies. Inside, Duganem will meet another man. The man will be missing witness from an old police case. This change everything. The witness is Rice. Ras and the Tomman will secretly listen as the Dugakan tell him that Hakan want him move again before his brother find him. Ras will want to rush inside. Tomman will stop him against their rule has the change. They will until Duganan leave and the approaching that the witness. The man will be terrified when he recognizes Ras. He may see Ras look exactly like his father. Ras will ask when he said the witness will explain that the parents' accident was connected to an argument over document. Ras' father had discovered financial crime or another serious secret involving people with influences. He planned to expose it. Hackons knew but that the witness will ask something unexpected. Hakan was not the person his father feared most. Someone else was above him. Their present the mystery from ending too early. Aras will ask for a name before the witness can answer. A shot may break at the window. Someone is trying to silence him. Ras and the Toman will put that the man down, escape through at the back of the warehouse. The action sequence will now have naturally that the brother begins working together. Ras move first. Toman cover that the exists. They are no longer need to explain every decision. The tractor escaped. The witness survived because it is injured. Before using consequence, he tells Ras one word, Akayas. Ras will tell him mean Hackens. Human will say there are other Akayas. The realization will bring that the other generation of the family into focus. Maybe the person controlling even began long before Hacken painful, powerful. Meanwhile, Sabnam one position will become dangerous. She will learn that the Hakan has keeping a secret large enough to threaten that the family name because her relationship with Hakan is already damaged. She may decide to protect herself rather than the protected him. She will search his private phone or file. She may discover massive from documents showing that the hackers now Ras and the Tiomans were getting close to the trust. Sabna will copy that the messenger. She will not give them to Ras, not yet. She will keep that in insurance. Nure will also become more dangerous to the Sabnam. When grief releasing fails, Noor may openly tell her that the war is not finished. Shabnam will laugh and ask why Noor thinks she can still take from her. Noor will answer that the trust, the simple word will connect it at the family connect. Inside that the Kayas will is beginning to understand that the secrets are more powerful than money. The sessions may end with the brother returning to the villa unexpectedly. They will comfort Hakan together. Ras will place that the DNA result on that the table. Soman will place it at your family photograph beside it. Hakan will look from one brother to the other. Soman will ask, where were you planning to tell you my name? Hakan will stop pretending. He will say never. Ras will move forward angrily, but Yoman will stop him. He wants to hear everything. Hakan will tell them that changing them immediately was not his original plan. It was an order. Ras will ask who gave that the order. Hakan will look toward and the predict hanging in the room. The photograph showed that the furious hand of the Akaya's family, Hakan's father and the Hakans will say if they are thinking he is the beginning of the story, they understand nothing, love, loyalty and the price of the trust. After that, the revelation that the secret may know back another generation, the 17 can show that the mysterious for a while and focus of the value of the understanding. Humans will leave at the villa after Hakan's confession without knowing where to go. Returning to his room feel impossible because every object there belonging to a live building on a lie. Going with Ras also feel difficult because accepting a brother does not instantly create a home. Dennis may find him sitting outside alone. She will not ask to explain, she will simply sit beside him. After a long silence, Yoman will say that you understand he now who has was. Today he was to name and Ether feel completely his. Dennis will tell him that perhaps that they did not two choices immediately. Thomas may ask whether his will see is the same way if everyone started calling him Dammy. Dennis may answer that she never linked it because of his name. He will almost smile. The relationship can develop slowly and naturally. Dennis has parents see Thomas where his arrogance, angry, fitness, protected and the broken. She is becoming one of the few people who now eat beyond that the image he now that the world. Ras on the other hand will finally face that the emotional cost of the losing Slela trust. Finding his brother has not raised that the past between them. Slela helped investigate her one father but does not mean she can immediately forget how Ras use their relationship while keeping his purpose secret. They may fit at the place where some of the happiest memories happiness. Ras will tell her that he does not want to defect himself anymore. Leila will say that if the first wise thing he has done in there, Ras will admit he was going, he wanted to protect her. But part of him was also afraid that if he told her that the family she would choose her family over him, so he made that the choice for her because she could make it himself. Layla will appreciate that the honesty because the explanation is more truthful than saying he lied only for her safety. She may have tried something too. She wanted Aras to trust her, but she also ignored signs about her family because believing him would force her to question everyone she now. Neither was completely innocent. This allowed the relationship to rebuild in a mature way rather than through one dramatic apology. Leila will then Ras. She cannot promise that everything will be normal. Ras will answer that the normal has never worked for them anyway. This may smile, it will be a small beginning. The larger problem will be Hakan's father and the other Akaya history. Hakan may explain that his father controlling that the family through fear. Years ago, Ra's father believed became involved in the business with him. He discovered illegal activity and tried to leave. Hacker may insist that he tried to help. Raz will not believe him. Tioman will ask why Hacker took damage. Hackers will say that after that the parents died, his father wanted by void control. Hacker managed to remove damage protected. He may protect that the child but that his father ordered them immediately changed permanently. Ras will ask why Hakan did not return him later. This will be the question Hakan cannot answer with another villain. He kept Damir because he became attracted to him. At first it was protections, later it became possessions. Hakan may admit that after raising Tomer for the years, he became terrified of losing him. Every year he waited, make telling that the trust harder. Eventually that the lie because that the foundation of the relationship. Women will be decisive but also emotionally confused. Hakan did rise him. They were Janice's memory between them alike cannot erase every moment of the love, but love cannot erase that this lies ether. The inner conflict will become more painful than the simple hatred. Ras may want Yoman to leave at the villa and stay at the dorms. Yoman will refuse. Ras will think he is casing Hakan. Yoman will explain that the staying there does not mean forgiveness. The villa is still that the best place to learn what the happened. Ras will recently accepted that the logic. Before leaving, he may tell Yoman to call if anything feels wrong. Humans will joke that their Ras has become an annoying brother very quickly. Ras will say he has 12 years of annoying behavior to catch up on. Their humors will show how that the lost relationship is beginning to return. Meanwhile, that the school fire investigation will development. Authorities may discover that the file was deliberately started. The target appears to have been that the all achieved the immediately account connected that the fire to the hidden document, but another day will disturb Thomas whenever started the fire. Now he would be at school, was destroyed at the paper the only goal, or was someone also tried to target into all trauma. Dennis may believe the second possibility. They remember how secretly Tioman rejected someone who now his childhood history could protect it that the file could disable him. Tioman realized that only a few people know about that. The trauma Hakan is one, another may be Dogakan. The suspicion around Dogakan will grow. Leila will brings watching him more closely. Dugakan continue acting harmful, but his questions always pointed toward us and the trauma investigation. Leila will feed him false information to test him. She may casually mention that there are found an original copy of the adoptions paper and plan to take it to the police the next morning. No one such paper exists. The night someone will break into Ra's room at the dorm, nothing vulnerable will be taken. Only his file will be searching. Sailor tested had the work. The information reaches that the person trying to hide that the trust. Now they need to determine whether passes it to Hakan or acted himself. Ras will set another trap. He will create two different false clues. He tells Hakan that the evidence is hidden at an old boatyard. He tells Hakan's Leila that is the hidden insider rented garage. He wants to see where places is the target. Man appear at the garage. Doganos is operating immediately. This change his rules scientifically. He is not simply Hakan helper. He has is one reason to stop that the brother. Why? The answer may involve his one father. The Gakan family and the Akayas has been connected for the years. His father may have been that the person who helped Hakan father arrange that the cover up after that the death. If the case opened, the Gakan enter family will be exposed. He is protected his the future. This gives him a believable motive. Dugandar may confront Leila after realizing that she tested him. He will tell him she is making is a mistake by siding with Raz. The trust will not only destroy Hakan, it could destroy that the family business reputations and even place people in the prison. Leila will answer that if their good name depends on the Birser crime, then he deserves to be destroyed. Ganem will become angry because he accepts his reality basis on the family status. Leila choice will mark her growth. Herself she might has protected the Akaya's name. Now she is a protective family from the wrongdoing. Another emotional story will grow around Dennis and the Noodles. Dennis agreeable that the abortions will still be strong. She may ask Noodle why she did not come to her from hell. Noodle will say she was scam and the frightened. Dennis will tell her that the silence allows Sabnam to control her. Noodle will agree. She will decide if she will no longer remain silent. Surya may reveal that she once saw Hakan's father meeting Ra's father. She was younger and did not understand the argument, but she remembered one sentence because of how frightened it sounded. If this is paper leave this house, no one will survive and come after. This gives that the brother a new girl. What paper? If Ra's father has the documents strong enough to threaten that the guy is pretending he hit copy before he did. The old matter was not that the tree contained personal item because maybe it can contain a clue to another hiding place. Rasway studied the family photograph and noticed his father hand resting on a small model board. He suddenly remembered that the model was not just decoration. His father buried it with the hill of bees. The brother may return to the old family area looking at the board. They find it in a second-hand shop after tracing belongings, all following that the tragedy. The shopkeeper will think they are crazy for the caring about and all broken metals. Model Ras will buy it, insists that the hollow base they discover a tiny key and a number. The number belonged to a bank self-deposit box. Now the story moves at the into mysterious rather than the repeating that the same search through all room exists that the box will be different because that the account ordered is that Leila will use legal help while searching for proof for the inheritance. Human could legally help if that the identity is restored. But doing it would be publicly revealed that the adoption for the first time the brother may decided with her to expose that the truly officially Tioman will his retain now because he want to protect Hakan but because changing his legal identity could have fried everything. His full record document and the interior life are using Tioman Nakaya. Ras will tell him that he does not have to change his name. The matter deeply Ras one dream of finding Damit. Now he has learned to accept Yoman. He may say Damit is the brother I lost. Yoman is the brother I found. Yoman will be unable to answer. This sentence could become a major emotional turning point. He will decide to name the Tioman for now while legally recording his original identity. The safe deposit process eventually succeeds. Instead that the boss they find document, a voice recorder and a sealed letter addressed to the boy. Ras will feel that when he sees their name written in their handwriting, the letter will mean for both of them. They will open it together. Their father explained that he discovered a network of the legal transfer and force company connected with powerful business family. He feared someone will happen to him, so he hid evidence. But the most important part concerned Hakan. The father wrote that the Hakan secretly warned him. This shocked Ras. Hakan may not have been that the enemy at the beginning. The later say Hakan wanted to help that the family escape his one father control. Something went wrong. This complete everything again. Yoman will immediately say Hakan will be have telling part of the trust. Ras will cease because accepting that the Hakans weren't tired to have failed like betraying that the rest of the pain but evidence matter. The voice recorder may contain a conversation between their father and the Hakan. The father voice will be difficult for the Ras to hear after so many years. Hakan warned him they have very little time. The recording ends before revealing that the full plan. Still, it proved Hakan was not originally working against them. This then will he still damage identity. Perhaps he refused that the till during that the case, but later surrounded to fear and his father pressures. Hakan become more complicated rather than the simply innocent or the guilty. At the dorms, humans become closer to the Ras friend. They may become calling him Damage as a joke. Human tells them only Ras get permissions. Ras immediately belongs saying Damage repeatedly just to knowing him. Human throw blow at him for a brief moment that the brother get to act like ordinary teenager. The normally is previous because it was stolen from them. Leila watches him then from the doorway and the smile. Ras notices her their eyes meet. The word is still complicated, but not every complication is the tragic anymore. The story could then move toward an emotionally finally gather, not at the Akaya's villa, at the storm, at another simply places. Ras, Thomas, Leila, Dennis and their friends share food. Hackers may not be invited. Human feel guilty for a smile. Ras notice but say nothing. Later, Human visit Hakan along. Hakan is sitting and the quiet villa surrounded by everything he spent here trying to protect. Human tell him that the investigator will probably ask more questions. Hakan say he will answer them. Human start to the leave. Hackens asks whether Toman will ever forgive him. Toman proceeds. He says he does not now. Hackens not. Toman continue. But I came back to answer that the question. This is the closest thing to hope Hacken receive you. Toman did not forgive him, but he had no trace. The relationship are followed to remain complicated. The final dangers will arrive quietly. A package is delivered to us. No return address. Inside is a photograph taken recently. It showed us Thomas, Leila and the Daniels together outside that they dorm. Someone is watching them. On the back in an address second release recognized him. It belonged to the house that supposedly down many years ago. These same locations where that the eldest advertiser may believe to have died. Ras want to go immediately. Lera said that it is exactly what that the central expert human agree. Ras look at him enjoy that the finding his brother he has made his life more difficult. Human answered that Ras could lose him again if he want pieces. Ras smile disappear. He say never again. He will come that the emotional promise for the next stage of the story. They decide not to walk blindly into that the trap. This time they gather information, contact that the investigator and the plan carefully. This dream prove how much they have learned. At night, Ras sit outside that the dorm alone. Tom and join him. For a while they watched that the lights exhaust boredom. Tioman asked with her eyes feel different how now that the search is over. Ras said that the search is not over. Tioman rolled at his eyes and said he meant that the search for him. Ras saying then he said yeah for years he woke every morning feeling that someone was missing. Now that the feeling is gone, Tioman look away because he does not want Ras to see how much that the answer affect him. He asks with her Rasi disappointment that damage before between him. Ras immediately saying your Tioman asks how he can answer so quickly. Ras explained that he spent here looking for a memory. Memories cannot grow. People do. The lightest boy can. He cannot have to become someone. He is simply grateful he loved enough to meet that the person. Tioman quietly said that he is grateful to Ras. Alvita he is grateful to. Tioman said that you were stubborn. Ras laughed. Tioman add very annoying but stubborn. They sit together. No dramatic music is needed in that. The imagined scene. The meaning is therefore already there. The brother who spent years separated have finally learned have to sit beside one another without needed proof, answer, or explanation. That you may remember somewhere as a childhood memory. The mother standing near that the door. Ras is holding its hands. She tells him that no matter how angry they are but each other because must never allow another person to decide what they mean to one another. Joman tells us that the memory Ras become emotional because he remembered that the same moment. This is the first complete memory they share, not a fragment, not a clue, not evidence. A real memory belonging to both of them. For a first time, Tioman does not feel like the damage is a stranger inside them. Damage and the Tioman finally feel like part of the three same person. Ras put his arm around his brother. Tioman complete but does not move away. The camera of the image episode could look back from toward that the dark road outside that the door. A car is parked far away and sit a car. This is where we cannot fully see. He is older. On the passenger seat, like that, the same photograph that was sent for the arrest. His name man refused a phone call. A voice also whispered that the brother opened their father file. The man answered yes. The voice that asked what happened now. They looked toward us and the woman. Then he said, now we found out what their brother told him before he died. The call and the man drive away. Us and the woman never noticed him. The next morning, the brother prepared to investigate that the mysterious address together. Leila insisted on become part of the plan. And Dennis refused to let Tioman disappear into another dangerous situation without telling her anyway. Raz looked at the three people beside him and realizes how different his life has become. He arrived in the boardroom alone. He believed Tioman Damir was the only thing that mattered. Now he has his brother because he chose to stand beside him. As a future he never allowed himself to imagine. The mysterious is the larger, the memories may more the dangerous, but Ras is no longer the boy who has to carry everything, be handful before they leave. Tioman stop him. Ras asks her what happened. Tioman take an old object from his pocket. It is something recovered from their childhood boxes, perhaps daddy's small toy or charm that they once shared. Tioman give it to their As wife, Tioman say Ras keep his father for us his heirs. Now Tioman will keep that the other they reach. Carry one piece. Ras smile. He tell Tioman not to lose it again. Tioman answer, you found earth once, you can found it too. Ras pushes him playfully. For a moment they laughed like brothers who never separated. Then they walked toward the car. Leila waited beside Ras, Lennis beside Tom, and the four of them lived together behind them. That the warm remained standing full of that different a memory that helped Ras survive because he found his family. Ahead of them went around another trust, but that the meaning of the story has changed. At the beginning, Ra's trance come from refusing to stop searching. Now there's a trance come from finally having people beside him. There is no longer implied that the angry man of the Akaya family, his human, his Damir, his Ra's brother. He is also a young man who has the right to decide from himself who has become next. Leila is no longer someone between Ras and her family. She has chosen trust even when trust her that the people she loved and is no longer standing outside that the center conflict. She has become one of the people helping Tomer face that the part of himself he feared. Hakan is no longer able to decide behind that the excuse and every life was prediction. If he wants their places in the human future, he must accept the responsibility for a past. And Ras finally understands someone his long search could never teach him. Finding family is not the same as a possessive family. Love cannot damage that. The person you find become that the person you remember. Real love accepted that the heirs you miss. It accept that the change, it accept that the anger, accept that the question that many receive perfect answer. Ras spends years looking for the damage. He finally finds Tamers and that they must turn out that the simple even more meaningful. At the car disappeared down that the boardroom. The next chapter of the Daha 17 began north with one anger searching for another. But with two brothers searching, facing that they trust together, and somewhere in the shadow, the final person connected to their parents' tragedy is preparing to make sure they never reaches that the end of the trust. To name one's life. The next part of the last 17 may begin with the two men working becomes sunrise after almost no sleep. The room between around them too quiet and his mind is not. For hours he has tried to convince himself that what Ras told him cannot be true. He kept remembering that the damaged school paper and the notebook with Ra's name, the certain memory from the fire, and the way Hackens avoided answer smile questions every time Tioman tried to reject one the clue another one appeared in his mind. He sit on the edge of the bed and look at his name as if they belonging to the somewhere else. For years, this is hand belonging to the Thomas Akaya. They heal expensive thief out with papers. People pushes us away, opened at the door of a house where someone know his name, but now one thing refuses to leave him. When a Thomas is not at the name, his life began one. When is someone inside him, there is another boy. Another family, another story that has taken away before he is old enough to defect. If he gets up and goes to the mirror for the first time, he studies his one face without taking about the experience. He look at his eyes, his jaw, the shape of his nose, and that the small star near his eyebrow. He remember us standing in the damage tool achieve and saying that the name damage. Thomas quiet repairs damned it to himself, damned that the name feels certain it does not feel like this, but it also does not feel completely foreign. This is one scare him if that the name made nothing if can't could laugh it at the rust and forget everything, but someone inside him react every time he hear it, not a clean memory, more like a feeling. A door in his mind that has been looking for days suddenly seemed to move when someone touches it. Tom become angry with himself. He tell him reflection that Raz is manipulated him. Raz come to the boardroom with the purpose he hate thing. He entered their life with the secret. Maybe this is only another trick. Maybe Aras wants to destroy Hakan and has found the perfect way to do it. Yoman tried to hold on to this explanation because it is easier than the believing his whole childhood may be false. But even as he said it, then he remembered Hakan faces when he asked about that the past. The father who had meeting nothing to hide but began confused. Hakan become afraid. Tioman decided that before speaking to anyone else, he need proof that does not come from Ras. He decided quietly take that the old hospital bracelet that they found among his childhood things and lived at the villa before that. The house was fully awake. He does not tell Hakan, he does not tell Sabnam. He does not even tell Dennis this time he wants to hear distrust without anyone standing beside him and influencing how he understands it. His first step is a private hospital connected to record from his earlier childhood. The building has changed over that the years, but part of the old wing still remains. Thomas walked inside with a confidence of someone used to the door opening when he gave him surname. He goes to the record desk and places that the bracelet in front of that the employee asked for the medical document connected to the number written on it. The employee checked that the system and record them. There is no active digital record. Thomas asked her to ask all archives. She asked for his full name. Thomas acquires the two women. Nothing she tried again. Still nothing. Thomas feels his stomach tightens. He asks Victor the number on the bracelet belonged to another patient. The woman looked again and said that the number appeared to come from an older filling system that was used before some record became digital. This file may have been moved to the storage room and asked to see this, and the employee says she does not escort without proper permission. Tioman tries using his family name again. He tells that Hakan Sakaya was his garden and that the record and his one. The woman becomes more painful when she hears Hakan's name. The small chain does not escape Tioman. She is gracious toward another worker, then says she must speak to a supervisor. Tioman waits after survival minute. Another woman comes from the back office. She looks at the Tioman for a long moment. His expression will not that the expression of a stranger. She looks like a stranger, someone who recognizes him but does not want to say it. Yoman asks if they have met. The woman quickly says no. He places the bracelet in her hand. The moment she sees him, her face loses color. Yoman notices he asks who did this murder. She denies it. Tioman is the tired to polite answer. He leaned forward and say he only want to know who has ever when he came here has a child. The woman look around him before lowering her voice. She tell him that there are things people are better not reopening. Romans become cold. They mean there is nothing to reopen. The woman saying nothing. They ask whether he has registered another name. The woman take up need and tell him she cannot speak about private patients' information. Woman reply, I am the patient. Again she does not answer. And then Thomas asks the one question he has also tried to stay alone. Why must name damage the woman eyes immediately move toward him. She does not confront him. She does not need it. Thomas step back. For a few seconds he cannot hear anything around him. The hospital lights seem too bright. The sound of the phone nurse's footsteps and the distant conversations become unclear. The woman reaches toward him as if may feel felt. Woman tell her not to touch him. They may routed him to the hospital. The woman says she remembers very little. Human asks she remember his bracelet after all this is air. So she remember more than she is saying. The woman finally admits that a badly frightened child was right to a private wing after at a fire. The boy has the injured confession and the serious memory problem. The person who brought him used another surname at first. Later, document arrived. The woman asked what name was. Only the first paper. The woman refused. He asked again. She whispered, "Damn it, woman, choice his eye. He has prepared himself to discover." Ras was saying he has not prepared himself for this. He asked about us. The woman says she never knew another boy with the answer, but she remembers something strange doing that the first night that the child keeping and asked for someone he has weak and excuse confusing so that the nurse could not always understand him, but one name come again and again. As woman gripped at the edge of the desk. He does not want to cry in front of a stranger. The woman explained that later a man from a Kaya family come from legal document. The child was removed. His earlier paper disappeared from the hospital system. She has always thought it was usual, but he was young and afraid of losing her job. Powerful people ask questions and people learn not to ask questions back. Thomas asked with her Hakan was that the name. The woman says she does not be sure. Thomas can see that it is still hidden something before leaving. He asked with her the old paper record still exists. He says some were transferred to be achieved, but a group of files found that the heirs disappeared later. Our system changed. Thomas laughed bitterly. Of course they need. He walked out of the hospital with the bracelet in his hand. Outside he saw beside his car but does not get it. For the first time he understands that this is a bigger than Ras story. A hospital employee who has no reason to help Ras had just confirmed part of it. The name Damir was the real. The fire was real, his history problems was real, the missing record were real. Toman feel anger racing, but this time he does not know where to send it. At Hakan, at Ras, at himself for not asking Sona. He drives without deciding where he is going. Eventually he stops outside at the place where Sahat is staying. Sahat has always seemed to know more than he said. Human used to think this was because Sahat live manipulated people. Now he wondered where fear was that the only real name reason. He goes inside without calling first. Sahat is surprised to see him. Toman does not waste time. He places at the hospital bracelet and the damaged school note on at the table. Then he asks, "Who am I?" Sahat's expression immediately changed. Toman tells him not to give another half answer. He says he is tired of the evidence, deciding what trust he can handle. Sahat asks what Ras told him to become angry. This is not about the Ras. Sahat replied quietly, he has always been about Ras. The question stopped him. Toman said. Sahat explained that the years ago some people inside that the Akaya circle now there were details about Toman rival that they did not make sense. He said he never over knew that the full story at once, but over time he heard names, say paper, understood that the German officially history has been changing. German asked why no one told his German sir say because everyone around can survive, but learning which questions are the dangerous. Thomas asked Vita he was the damaged. Sahar does not answer immediately. Thomas stands his hand on that the table. Sahar finally says yes. The word is simple. It destroys everything. Thomas stands and turns away. Sahar tells him to stay. Thomas says he cannot. He feels like a wall are moving. He asks Vita Ras is really his brother. Sahar said that the evidence strongly suggested it, but he never said a birth certificate himself. Woman looked at him. This is what I asked. Sahar answered yes. Aras is his brother. Everyone worked by every heart to keep away from you. Woman anger grew colder. He asked who everyone means. Sahar said different world people has the different reasons. Some wanted to protect Hakan, some wanted to protect that the family name. Some was spied, some were fried. Some probably told something that the life was better for a child who cannot remember anything. Toman laughed without humor. Battle for a child, he repeated that the phrase. Then he asked why Hakan will do it. Sahar said this is a question Tioman should ask Hakan himself. Tioman want a clear answer, but Sahar refused to invite motive he does not fully know. This is important because Tioman is beginning to see that the difference between trust and the speculation. For years, people gave him complete stories, but from the loud now he understands that an honest "I don't know" can be more vulnerable than a comfortable answer. Before Thomas leaves, Sarah tell him one more thing. Second, always become nervous when asked some closer to you. This was not because that the Raz was bad for you. He was because he knew closeness created memory. Tioman asked what that means. Sahaj say all memory can return through the smell, voices, movement and the emotions. Maybe I can fear that if the Tioman spent through time with their ass, he can bring remembering because everyone could control that the story. Thomas thinks still about that the certain moment he had let about us that the feeling of knowing is the moment the certain familiarities in some argument the whereas voice one gave him a ad see from shooting that his childhood name may be his body recognize his brother before his mind act. Thomas did Sarhat with more trust than he wanted. Meanwhile, Rasi is living, having a very different morning. He is sitting at the door with papers spread around him, but for that the first time he is not searching for the damage is the usual way. Until now, every clue was about where damage was. Now he may already know that the answer. He stares at the Thomas name written beside Demi. His friend noticed that he has barely spoken. One of them asks Sir Victor his name that the search is finally over. Ras look up, no, his friend is confused. Ras explained that the finding someone and getting him back are not that the same thing. He says he spends there imagining Demi as a little boy. He remembered in his mind Demi grabbed no older. He has always waiting somewhere to be found. But Yoman did grow older. He has his life. He won anger. He won memory. He won people. Ras say quietly, what right do I want to in his life? And say forget everything do my brother now. His friend tell him his brother does not rest human's current life. Ras say he now this is what it had. It thought that the world make that the everything simple instead it has been everything more complicated. Our friend joked that the Ras has never chosen that the simple road in his life. Ras smiles slightly that the smile disappears. He admits something he has not said before. He is scared. Everyone look at him because Ras clearly said that the world. He explained that for years he never finding Demi. Now he is afraid he find out and Demi may not want him. One of the boys says Yoman is angry at everyone. That does not mean he does not want a brother. Ras applied that the human has right to be angry. He does not want to force him. This trait in Ras is important. Interior life has been driven by action. If there was a locked door, he broke up. If someone refused to answer, he asked harder. But now that the most important person in his life cannot be reached through force, Ras must learn patience. Leila arrived at the dorm later. She has learned enough to now helping someone helping because Ras and the dorm. Ras see her immediately understand that she had questions. Their relationship is still damaged. Leila will stare about him, but she cannot forget how much behind she acts with her Tioman is damaged. Ras says he does not have the final proof yet. Leila asks what she believes. Ras looks toward Dad. See, I think I found it. Leila watches his hand. His expected happiness shifts fear insists. She asked why he looked like someone lost again. Ras explained that because of the damage is someone told fears from out of them. He does not have with her to be ready about who be fined or angry about was taken. Leila sit beside him for a moment. Neither speak about their one relationship. Then Leila asked why he never told her that the real answer he came to the bottom. Ras said he was afraid. Leila said that excuse is not enough. Ras agreed that surprised her. He tell her he must protection as an excuse for finding things. But that was not the whole trust. She also afraid that if she ignored he expected her the family, she would stop him because he found Demi. Leila asked, so you did trust me? Ras answered honestly, no, the world hurt, but it is a matter then. And at the beautiful lie, he said he cared about her, but he did not know her well enough. At the beginning to reach that the search. Later when he did trust her more, he had told him words so many years that telling that the trust become harder. Leila say every liar give that the same explanations. When lie create another. Ras know that the trust make it less strong. Leila look at him carefully. This is the same thing. He is stopping trying to make himself look better. She asks if it become close to her because she has second daughter. Ras take a long time before answering. At first, yes. Leila look away. The answer hurt even though she expected it. Ras continued before she can leave. He say he first knew everyone around Hakan as a possible part. Romance Leila and the family, their worker, everyone. He has no longer for love. We are looking for the damage. Leila asks what was the change. Ras say he cannot give her an exact day. Maybe this is how he expect it was real. He does not decided to care for her. It happens while that he was busy thinking about someone else. Leila does not forgive him immediately. He thinks him that a real feeling do not erase a dishonest building. Ras say he now. Then he asks what happened now. Ras say she mean them. He now, I now them. Leila say I mean with the woman. Ras also laughed at himself. He told her that if the woman is damaged, nothing will happen unless woman wants it. Leila asked whether he always mean that. Ras say yes, he always had been people making decisions about his life. The answer changing something in Leila's expression. She understands that Ra's love for his brother is not only about getting someone back. He is learned to respond that the people that may become. Leila asks whether he has considered a DNA test. Ras says yes. He has thought about it all time, but he does not know how to ask someone without making him feel him like a object being tested. Leila says humans will probably hate at the idea. Ras said humans hate more ideas. Leila become almost smile. The old warm appear for 1 second, then board member where they are emotionally. Leila stands before leaving. She tells Ras that understand when he lied does not mean she is ready to trust him again. Ras answers and now she look back, but I believe you about your brother. This sentence means more to Ras than she realizes. Everywhere Tioman is trying to decide with her to return home. He drives toward at the villa but changing direction at the last moment. He sees it go to a quiet place near that the water. He takes out his phone and searching all photographs of himself. There are thousands from recent year birthday, school event, family trip, car parties and what. In every mate he is Tioman's Akaya. He tries over searching future back. The photograph becomes fever. There is almost nothing from that period because he was always sick. He never seemed certain before someone had told him many childhood things were lost. Now that the empty air look intentional. Tioman called Dennis. When she answered, he said nothing. Dennis immediately understands something is wrong. He asks where he is. He tells her. She arrives without asking more questions. When Dennis finds him, Tioman is getting on the hand of his car. She asks whether he wants to work. He says no. He say beside him everywhere, every minute. He say my name was Tioman. Dennis does not react dramatically. She wait. He said that the name was Demi. Dennis look at him. He continued, Ras is my brother. The word impossible even to him. Dennis asked whether he is sure. Tioman showed her that the bracelet and explained that the hospital's conversation. He tell her was her side. Dennis remained quiet. Tioman become irritated. She something she asked what he want her to say. He does not know. He say maybe he want her to tell him everything is wrong. Dennis answered that she cannot do it. Woman become angry. Dennis does not move. He say he spent his whole life being one the person. Now everyone is telling him that person began with a lie. Dennis say no. Thomas looked at him. She explained that his name may have changed, his history may have been hidden, and the person may have lied to him, but that the years he lived does not appear. His friendship, his mistake, his choices, his pain, his memory are still real. Thomas asked, then who is Damir? Damir answered, you shake his and she continue. He insists of the Tioman before Tioman insists. Tioman look at the water. He say he does not want two people inside his head and he say maybe there are not two people. Maybe there is one people with the stolen first chapter. The idea stayed with him. Tioman tell him that Ras probably expected him to remember everything now. Danny says she doubt him. Tioman asks how she know. Danny say because Ras look more definite, frightened them happy after that. The chief Tioman is surprised. He thought Ras will be celebrating. Thomas laughed bitterly. He should have thought of one before spending months making me hate him. Dennis reminded him that the Thomas also worked hard on that the hatred. He gave him a warning look. She smiled slightly. He said, have this something more this serious. If he is your brother, both of them lost that the same thing in a different way. Thomas asked why she is mean. Dennis explained that Tiras lost a brother. He remembered Thomas lost a brother. He was forced to the forget. Neither experience is easy. Neither is more real. Thomas became quiet. Dennis asked whether he remembered us at all. Thomas said no. Then he craned himself. I remember something might describe a dark room. Meanwhile, a hallway. A boy had a voice telling him not to be afraid. He remembered following someone older. He remembered that when he was frightened, he searching for that person automatically. Dennis asked with her that the face is Aras. Woman say he cannot see that the face. But when Aras gathered his arm inside that the damaged school, someone in his track feels similar. Danny said maybe memory is returning slowly. Tioman immediately said he does not want to force it. Danny agreed. She said that the trust will still that the truth even if they even memory returned. This conflicted him more than he expected. Before Danny sleeps, she tells Tioman B should not comfort Hakan aloud while he is angry. Tioman says has he no intention of comforting Hakan. Dennis now he is laying. He returned to the villa. Hakan is waiting. The moment Tioman walked inside, Hakan asked where he has been. Tioman did not answer. He studied at the man in front of him for years. He called his father. He remembered Hakan teaches him for to the drivers. Hakan sitting beside his bag when he was sick. Hakan arguing with teacher for him. Hakan celebrating his victory. Hakan also laying every day. Thomas has never felt love and anger toward one person with such forces at the same time. Hakan asked again when he wanted Thomas placed at the hospital bracelet on that the table. Hakan faces changing. Thomas asked, did not know with her what this is. Hakan said yes. Thomas asked what it come from. Hakan tell he this is an old hospital bracelet. Thomas laughed very good. Then he asked what name was on the first hospital record. Hakan said nothing. Thomas stepped closer. What was my name? Hakan tried to tell him that they should see. Thomas showed what was my name. Hakan smiling said, damn it, that the trust sounds different coming from him. Thomas closed his eyes. Some part of him still hoped Hackens would deny it and prove everyone, protecting every voice. Now they are nobody left to the height he asked with her as in his brother. Hakan said yes. Human turned away. He gripped at the back of a chair. Hakan tried to approach. Human tell him not to touch him. Hakan stopped. Human asked why. Hakan said that the situation was dangerous. Human turned back. Why? Hakan said there were things happening after the death of the Human's parents. Human interrupt my parents. The world felt unfamiliar. Seconds look hurt. Thomas noticed and becomes angry. You did not to hurt Luke. Hakan said he's trying to explain. Thomas tell him to explain why he's changing a child's name. Hakan said Demi was injured, confused and could not remember clearly. There were people connected to a family tragedy who might have the searches for him. Tioman asked why Ara's name was not changed. Hakan has no immediately answered. Tioman smiled coldly. This is why Aras asked. Hakan eyes changing his release. Tioman and Ras has been taking his Aras is feeling Tioman hid in the dangerous idea. Tioman lost control. He did give me my old hospital record. Hakan fell silent. Tioman asked whether Hakan removed that the record. Hakan does not answer. That is enough. Tioman asked if Hakan now Aras was searching for him. Why Aras come to the boardroom? Hakan said no immediately. Tioman asked why he understood. Hakan said he has suspicion. Tioman asked why he did not tell either of them. Hakan said he has protecting the humans. Humans step forward. Stop using that the world Hakans is the shock. Humans say every life called protection when the person telling it does not want to protect it was control. Hakan said human does not understand what dangers they face. Human asked then tell him. Hakan said this is not at the right time. Someone laughed that your answer for everything. He said Hakan decided when he now name his name, when he should know his father family, when he should now ask and ask. Hakan also want to decide whether he can hear that the reason. Hakan said that the trash could put him dangerous. Tammy replied, the lie already did. The hit Hakan's hurt. Tioman asked if Hakan encouraged him to fight Ras. Hakan said no. Tioman reminded him of all that the time. Hakan warned him that Ras was the danger, manipulative, disrespected, and the trying to enter their family. Hakan said Aras was doing this thing. Tioman said you left God out one detail. He was my brother. Hakan said he was afraid Aras would take Tioman away. This sentence escape before he can stop it. Tioman become completely still. This is the first truly honest thing Hakan has said. No protect, no dangerous fear of losing him. Tioman asked. So this was about you. Hakan said about people, both of them. Tioman asked whether he ever planned to tell him. Hakan does not answer quietly enough. Tioman understand never. Hakan said that the longer the lie continues, the harder it becomes. Tioman tell him that does not make it smaller. It make it worse. He leave before Hakan can stop him. Outside that the villa, Tioman stand beside his car, breathing hard. He said to hide something. Instead, he called Ras. Ras answered immediately. Neither now how to begin. Tioman said, we need that the test. Ras understand. He asked if Tioman is sure. Tioman said no. The answer is more honest than yes. He said sure about nothing anymore. But he needs one thing no one can regret. Ras say he will arrange that the DNA tests. Tioman make him promise that Hakan will not know until they receive that the result. Ras promised. Tioman say and did tell everyone at the dorm. Ras say only necessary people will now. Tioman add and don't start calling me Damir. Ras posses I was going to. Tioman says you are lying. Ras almost smiled. The tension between them became different. Not friendly yet, but no longer enemy tension. The next day they meet at a private clinic away from people who know that the Kaya family. The situation feels strange. The nurse explained that the process. Tioman looked uncomfortable. Ras tried not to stare at him. After that, the samples are collected. The nurse said that the result will take some time. Tioman asked if they can pay more to make it the faster. Ras told him some people cannot be sold by throwing money at them. For a second, Tioman almost smiled. Ras does too. It is the first time they make a joke together without answer underneath it. Outside that the clinic, they stand beside that the road. Neither leave immediately. Ras with Tioman want coffee. Tioman looks suspicious. Why? Because people drink coffee with people they like. Ras say we can sit at separated end of the table. Tioman tell him not to become emotional. They go anywhere. The cafe scene may become one of the most important quiet scene in the episode. Become there is no dangerous, no Hakan, no Leila, no school and no fight. Just to the young man waiting to the learn whenever they are brother. Tioman asked what Damir was like. Ras is surprised. Tioman immediately said he can forget he asked. Ras said no, he think for a moment. He said Damir was stubborn. Tioman rolled his eyes. He proved nothing. Ras said Damir hated losing. Tioman said much children do. Ras said Damir used to hide sweet and then excuse Ras of stealing them. Tioman looked at him. Someone small flashes in his mind. A children's a cupboard, a small hand hiding something behind a box. A image disappeared. Tioman asked with her like chocolate. As laughed too much. Tioman became quiet. He has always loved chocolate. He now that mean nothing scientifically but emotional. It feel different. Ras tell her Damir used to follow him everywhere. Tioman said that differently could sound like me. Ras said Damir also find me over everything. Tioman changed his mind that sound more reasonable. Ras described a small childhood story about him. Their brother told him not to go outside, but Damir convinced Ras to speak out. They come back covered into mud. Their father pretend to be angry but secretly laughed. Tioman listened. He does not remember that the event, but he liked hearing it. That the result make it uncomfortable. He asked Ras when he searched for so long. Ras became serious. He explained that after their parents died, everyone happened too quickly. Adults spoke around him, not to him. He was keeping asking where Namir was. Different people give different answers. Some said he has been moved, some said he has adopted, some told us he has stopped asking because he was too young to understand. Humans say everyone look love telling children they won't understand. Ras nodded. He said he decided that if a doll would not help, he would remember every detail himself. He wrote name, places, anything be hears. As he grew older, this sir become part of him. Tioman asked with Ras even though Damir was it that. Ras said yes many times. Tioman asked why he keep looking. Ras said because nobody proved it. As long as I don't know, I couldn't stop. Therefore, Thomas looked at him for a long time. Then he asked a harder questions. What if the test say I am not him? Ras become quiet. He admitted it would hurt, but he said Thomas deserved that the trust too. Then Thomas asked what if it say I am? Ras has no quiet answer. Finally, he said then we start from them. Humans ask what that means. Ras says he does not know, he does not want to protect. Welfare can disappear. He does not expect human to sternly remember everything or behave like a child he lost. Humans say good. Ras asks why, because I don't know how to be him. Ras replies, you did not have to. Human look away. The answer is someone keep inside him. Meanwhile, seconds left suspicion because Tioman has stopped sharing this movement. He asked people around at the villa where Tioman's want no one's now. He checked security information and the learned Tioman's made a second field grow. He called Duganan. Duganan also bigger, moving closer to the family during this period. He is crime police and the good at making good underestimate him. Hackens telling that him Aras is creating problem. Dugakan asks what kind. Hackens refuses to explain fully. He only say he need to know what Aras and the Tioman are doing together. Duganan asks whether he should follow them. Hakan said no visible pressure. He did not want Tioman to feel watches. Duganan said he understand, but after that the call his expression changing. He clearly know more than the hacker releases. This create a new danger. Duganan began approaching Slela more often. He acted sporty. He asked how she is handling that the tension between us and the family. Aras tell him she is fine. He said Aras has case a lot of the confession scene coming to the boardroom. Leila asks with her Duganan now Aras will enough to say them. Duganan say he now that the type people who arrive with nothing often become obsessed will filthy happiness family have. Leila disliked that the way he say it. She said, do not think anything Ras want is the money. Duganan said that as could it be. Leila studied him truly may not know how emotionally connected that the connection has become on he may be predictive. She changing that the subject. She asked with I remember Tioman when he was younger. Duganan pauses. Then he said that everyone now Tioman has a chill. Leila asked how young. Duganan said he does not remember. Leila noticed his hand tighten around his glass. He asked with her Tioman was always scarred. Duganan smiled. One kind of the question is that. Leila say a simple one. He say yes too quickly. Leila now he is hiding something. Everything. Dennis is watching together. Thomas struggled with the waiting periods. He checked his phone too often. He became angry over small things at school. He almost started at a fight when someone joked about Raz. He surprised everyone. The same return who won fraud. Raz is now angry because someone insulted him. Afterward, Dennis pointed this out. Thomas said he was not doing Ras. Dennis said why he was doing. Ras said that the other boy was annoying. Dennis smiled. Of course, Thomas tell her no to the star. She said she liked this new state was the state. This state where you crying about your brother and pretend you did. Humans say they do not know that the test result yet. Danny say biologically is not that the only reason she sided. Human become quiet. She has seen that the way he watches Ras now, not with hatred with questions. Ras also find himself watching Human differently. He noticed things he never cared about before. The way Thomas dropped into Trump against Ifinder when nervous. Damir used to go do something similar. The way Thomas refuses help even when he needs it. The way he becomes louder when the frightened. Ras has to stop himself from comparing every habit. He does not want Thomas to kill himself like a pieces. One afternoon Thomas come to the dorm unexpectedly. Ras opened at the doors and is surprised. Human say he was nearby. Ras looked outside. This is not everyone you normally do. Human tell him to more insist that the tomboys straight. Human asks if they have a problem. Ras tell them to stop looking. One boy says you are trying to understand whether we should prepare for a fight. Tioman said, "Not today." Another boy replied, "Very comforting." The mood becomes so changing normal. Tioman looked around Ara's room. It is simple, small, nothing like a villa. He noticed a box under the bed. Aras quietly moved it away. Tioman asked what it is. Aras said nothing. Tioman said that differently something. Aras opened it. Insists array of noting about the damage. Name, all photograph, means and the value, address, letter, report. Thomas becomes silence. His silence released. Ras was not aggressive. The set was not a research obsession. It feels air. He picked up a new football notebook. The handwriting is younger. Ras say he started that when he was around 11. Thomas read a page. It contained a list of the possible places Damir might have been sent. Another page contained a line. When I found him, tell him I don't forget. Thomas immediately closed the notebook. Ras noticed his reaction. He tried to take it back. Thomas said, "You really wrote this?" Ras said, "Yes." Thomas asked who old he was. Ras tell him. Thomas cannot speak for a moment. He finally says, "You hear a chill too." Ras answers, and now Thomas shakes his head. "No, I don't. You two things." Ras says, "What it means?" Thomas says, "Everyone keep telling about what happened to Damir has a chill, but Ras has the keep alone. Wait there, the same locality." Ras says he survived. Thomas replied, "That is that the same as a being okay." Ras looked at him. No one he sighed it the way before. Thomas does not want to the movement to become too emotional, so he asked if Ras has the food. Ras laughed. "You come here to inspect my trauma and insist my food." Thomas said he was angry because he discovered that the trauma they eat together. This scene can slowly build their bond. Tioman complained about that the food. Ras say he can go back to the rich kitchen. Tioman continue eating. Ras noticed. Tioman say, "I don't say it was bad. I said it could be better." Ras tell him he sound exactly like Demi. What is criticized their mother's soup. Tioman look at him. Ras immediately says sorry. He does not want to complete again. Thomas surprised him. Not what did he say? A smile. He tell him, "Thomas, listen. The next major movement comes through Noor. After everything that happens with Sabnam and a baby, Noor has changed. Grief has made fear lost powerful. He is starting thinking about all the time she stays silent to survive. She cannot undo what happened, but she can decide if either she will continue allowing powerful people to control every story. Dennis visit her. The relationship is tense. Dennis still crying anger and the pain. Nuri does not accept forgiveness. He tells Dennis there are things about that the Kaya's house that may better more. Dennis asked what she means. Nure said years ago she now happens moving all boxes from the villa late at night. He believed everyone was asleep. Nure said it because she was working. One box open. Inside were children's clothes, old paper and a photograph. Dennis asked this she thrilled. Nure said he could not see that the face. But who can become furious when he realizes he was there? The troll has never to enter that the part of the house again. Later that the room was empty. Dennis asked where that the boxes one. Nure give her an old key. She hackens one another storage property outside that the center. Very few movement now about this. Dennis asked with her Noor kept at the key. Noor says she found it after that the boxes were boxed and hid it because she was afraid someone would blame her for taking it. Dennis studied at the key. Then Noor tell her if the tumor want to know who he was and the room may know more than the hacker will never say. Demi denies with her to tell Tioman immediately. She now is really overwhelmed, but she also now hiding someone for his one good will make her no better than the people he is never angry with. So he called him. Tioman arrived. Nure repeat that the story directly to him. Tioman is surprised that the can keep his old thing while hiding that the trust. The suggested second film were more complicated than the simply easily Dammer. Tioman take that the key. Ras want to come with him. Tioman intentionally refuses. Then he changing his mind. If he is damned about you, she'll see it too. Ras did not show how much that the sentence affect him. Dennis also joined because she found that the clue. The three travel to the old storage property. The building is dusty and rarely used. The key open a side door. Inside are the cover furniture pieces, all business boxes, family decorations, and items removed from the Kai's villa over many years. Joman becomes searching around notice and the old wooden chest. The lock is broken. Inside are the children's clothes. Thomas spoke it, the small sweaters, Ras freezes, he recognized it. Demi wore one like it. It is an old photograph. Ras take out a picture from his valley. The sweater matches. Yeoman look from the photo to the cloth. His hand began to shake. Dennis touches his arm. He say he is fine. Ras does not believe him but does not push. They search deeper. They find old school form, a medical paper, a photograph of a child asleep in a hospital bed. The face is human on the back. Someone wrote D. No full name, only D. Ras sits down. He has seen only a photograph of Damir after their separation. This is the first image showing his brother during deadly loss. As humans say, tear in their eyes. Neither speak. Then they find someone more important. A document connected to the guardianship transfer part has been blacked out. Akon's name appeared. The child original name is still visible. Damn it, human finally has written proof. Ras take a photograph of the document and is found another photograph, this one showing Hakan standing beside a man outside at the hospital. A small voice is between them. Tioman Ras studied at the old map. He does not recognize him. Tioman said he has seen him in the old family business photo. Then before they can continue, a sound coming from the doorway. They turns damaged to Gannon is the day he asks what they are going to. Oman immediately step between him and Dennis. Dugannon noticed that the paper he asked who gave him that the key. No one answered. Dugannon become more serious. He said that the property belonging to the hacker. Oman replies, so do the lie. Dugannon tell him not to be the dramatic. Oman show him that the guardianship paper. Daha 17 original news story prediction scripts. The fire open and all wound. In the next episode of Daha 17, the story may begin at the school while smoke is still filling that the corridor and everyone is trying to understand how the fire started. Who look like a simple accident at first may quickly become something much more serious. Ras will not think about himself. His first thought will be that the people trapped inside, especially because danger has followed him for so long that he has learned to move before anyone has time to think. He may run toward that the building while teachers and the students shout at him to stay outside. At the same time, Tioman will stand completely still. The fire in front of him will not only be a fire, it will bring back a memory from his childhood that he has spent here trying not to remember. For a few seconds, he may stop. Hearing that the people around him, the voice will disappear, the schoolyard will disappear, and all he will see him be another burning place from many years ago. Dennis will notice Yoman before anyone else does. She will see that he is not simply afraid. His face will show that he now that he's feeling. She will call his name, but Yoman will not answer. When she grabs his arm, he may react as if someone has pulled him out of the nightmare. Dennis will ask him what happened, but Yoman will have no clear answer. He may only see that he remembers smoke a door that will not open and someone screaming his name. The memory will come in broken pieces. This will frighten him more than the fire itself because human always believed that the confusing image in his mind were meaningless tale or nightmare. Now he will begin to wonder whether they are real memories. Ras may come out of the school after helping someone reach safety, and that the first person he saves will be Thomas. Normally there is angle between them. Normally one harsh look is enough to begin another argument. This time Ras will understand that something is different. He will see Thomas Ras and did understand insist of the challenging him. He will ask whether he is hurt. Thomas will immediately rebuild at the wall around himself. He will tell Ras not to act like their friend. Yet Ras may notice a small burn mark on Thomas' wrist. And all scared that they becomes visible when his sleeve moves. Something about that this scar will trouble Ras. He has seen a similar marks before, perhaps in an old childhood photograph or in a medical pair connected to Demi. Ras will not understand that the meaning immediately. Too many things are happening around them, and he has learned that one wrong conclusion destroy everything. He will therefore keep the thought to himself. This small decision will become important because Ras has finally starting to understand that his greatest weakness is acting because he has enough proof for most of his life. He has survived but trusted in seas. Now he is fighting people who have money, influences, and air of hidden secret. Insist alone is no longer enough. He needs fact. The fire will also create new tensions inside that the Akaya family. Hakan will arrive with security and will immediately try to control that the situation. He will ask who was in seats who entered at the building and whether anyone said something before that the fire began. His questions may sound like concern, but Ras will notice something strange. Hakan seemed less interesting in a student than in one particular room. One Ras here is quietly asking whether that the old school chief has been damaged. His suspicions with Glove would Hackers care about all record why people are still being treated outside. Ras may follow him from a distance and see Hakan speaking to a man he does not recognize. Hakan's voice will be low and the angry Ras will not hear everything. But he may later enough to understand that the fire has destroyed something Hakan in hidden. The unknowing may will be see that some boxes were removed before that the flame reaches that their chief. Hakan will immediately ask where these boxes are now. This will give us a new direction. Until this moment, he has been searching for damage through people. Now he realizes that the document may tell him what people refuse to say. Leila will reach the school after learning about that the fire. Her first reaction will be fear to Aras, but at the moment she sees him safe. Another feeling will return. She is still angry because Aras has hidden too much from her. She cares for him perhaps more than she wants to admit. Yet every time she gets close to him, another secret appears. Aras may try to explain that he never wanted her to become part of his dangerous search. Leila will answer that his explanation is exactly that the problem. He keeps deciding for her. He keeps telling himself that lies are acceptable if they are meant to protect her. Their conversation will not become another simple romantic argument. Leila will finally tell him and love cannot just become kind of the prison. She is tired of waiting for Ras to decide when she deserves to know something. Ras will want to tell her everything. He will almost say that he believes that the Akayas family is connected to Damir, but before he can finish, Hakan will appear. The meeting between Ras and the Hakan will become one of the most important moments of Daddy's story. Ras has spent many episodes trying to enter Daddy Akaya's while quietly searching room, following clues and asking questions indirectly. Now he may decided that hiding is taken him as far as it can. He will look Hakan directly in the eyes and tell him that he came to boardroom because he is looking for his brother. Hakan's reaction will be more than any answer. Hakan may remain silent for only 1 second, but that the second will be enough for the Aras. A man sharing that the information. For the first time will ask questioning, he will ask who that the brother or may why Ras is telling him. Hakan insists may ask what Ras has he discovered the welding immediately expose him. Ras will say, I never told you I discovered anything. Hakan will realize his mistake, but he will already be too late. Leila, standing nearby, will hear part of the conversation. Her shock will not come only from learning why Ras came to the boardroom. It will come from seeing that the fear in her father's eyes. She is now Hakan's better than their does. She now when their father is angry when he is pretending and when someone has truly frightened him for the first time she may understand that Ras has been imagining that the darkness around their family there really is something Hakan disappeared to hide. Hakan will try to turn that the situation against Ras. He may see that Ras has become obsessed and he is entering home illegally, following people, causing problem and using Leila to reach that the family. This is associations with her before some part of him contain trust. Ras has entered their life while hiding their real promise. Leila will look at him and ask that the questions he has feared most. Did he first become close to her because of the search? Ras will not lie. He may admit that at the beginning, everyone connected to the Akayas was a possible part toward Damir. But he will make it clear and what he later felt for Zilela was real. The problem is that Zilela will not know which part to believe. She may tell him that she needs time and walk away, whereas will let her go because choosing her new world only make things worse. While Aras is drilling Leela and Hakan, Tioman Pass will begin breaking through that the wall built around it. He will return home because it will not be able to sleep. Every time he closes his eyes, he will see fire. Then another image may appear, a young children beside him. The child face will be unclear. But Thomas will be remember holding someone's hand. He will remember a voice telling him not to let go. Thomas will wake suddenly and search through an old box in his room. The box may contain childish object that he has never cared about, a damaged toy and an hospital bracelet and photograph choices by his family. One photograph will be different. It will show Thomas at the young age. Shortly after that, this postly entered that the Kaya family life. On the back, there may be a date written by someone else. Humans will compare that the date to what he has always been told about his childhood and realize that the story does not fit. His parents may have always said that a childhood accident caused his memory problem, but if that the date is correct and the accident happened before a period of his life that describe happens in a completely different way, Tioman will begin to understand why no one give him clear answer when he asks about this is air. Their lie are not random, they are built around one missing part of his identity. He will go to late Hackens at night and ask directly about that the fire from his childhood. Hakan will try to remind Scam. He may say that the human was too young and that the memory are confused and that remembering painful things will not help him. Human will ask a simple question, was I alone? Hakan will not answer. This silence will destroy that the last pieces of human trust. At the same time, Aras will return to the dome and examine everything he has collected about Emmy. He will place all paper photograph, name and date across that the table. His friend may think he is becoming too deeply involved, but Raz will explain that Hakan reaction has changed everything. But he supposed that the Kaya's now something. Now he is contained. He may look again at the mysterious information Sir had tried to give him. Earlier it seemed incomplete, but after hearing Thomas' name appears around at the clue, Aras will write about name on a page diamond and the Thomas. He will stare at him, refusing to accept that the possibility forming in his mind. He feel impossible because Thomas is the person he has found more than anyone. Thomas has humiliated him, attracted him, threatens him and storm between him and the Leela. Now could that the better he cross a city to find be a same person. Ras will tell him such must be another explanation. The next morning he may go to the hospital or clinic where all record connected to the treatment could exist. Instead of forcing that the way inside, he will ask someone he trusts for help. He will learn that the human earlier medical records are missing, not sales, no private, missing somewhere removed than the earlier heirs. This will lead us to the old school achieve because second concern about that the Burns record new makes sense. School may often identification document, emergency conflict form and the old registration paper if trauma return enter that the school enter a change identity. Something may there show that the change happen. Ras will return to the damaged building after dark. He will not to the person there. Tioman will also arrive. They will one another through that the broken interiors each immediately suspicion of the other. Tioman will ask why Ras is following him. Ras will respond that Tioman is not the center of everything. The old angry will return, but neither will leave because they both need that is something that they trust. Roman will reveal that the Hackens lie about his childhood. Ras will tell him his full suspicions, yet insists he will say that Hacken has always hidden information about Damir. For the first time, the two young men will understand that they may be frightened at the same enemy when they are they still do not trust each other. Inside that the damage achieved, they will search through water soak boxes and the burnt paper because more dangerous will be useless. The storage will find data storage. Drivers protected from the fire, it will be low. Cars will want to break it immediately, while Tioman will agree that making noise brings security. Their different personalities will clash even when they are cooperating. Eventually, they will open it and find similar old student file. One folder may contain Tioman's name but no earlier photograph. Another paper will show that his identification information was updated after his enrollment. The original name line will be covered by connections field or the blank ink. Aras hand may bring shaking. The woman will notice. He will ask why his mattered to Aras. Aras will avoid answering and continue searching until that the file that may discover a handwriting note from a former school conclusions. Most of it will be damaged, but one sentence will still be readable. It will mention that the child repeatedly asks about Aras. The room will become silent. The woman will look at Aras. Aras will look at the page. Neither will be ready to stay when they are about thinking. Woman may laugh it once, but it will be laugh of everyone trying to stop himself from falling apart. He will say that many people are named Aras. Aras will agree too quickly. They will bounce for a easy explanation because accepting that the obvious possibility will change every relationship in his life. They will hear something entering that the building. Hakan security man have their rifles will grab at the papers while Tioman pull him behind a damaged cabinet. They will have no time to agree now. The man will bring searching that their chief and taking about recovering one missing file before Hakan discover it is gone. Ras and the Tioman will understand that the paper in his hand. Maybe exactly what happened is afraid of accepting that the school will force them to work together. Tioman now that the building Ras is better and moving without being seen. They will reach a second floor corridor but find the stair block smoke damage the weakest part of this structure and one wrong movement could cause it to fail. When Aras trying another floor, part of his ceiling may collapse. Someone will put him away just in time for a strange movement. Aras will remember something from childhood. Another hand pulling him away from failing wood. He will stare. Someone will a new fear. After they escape, they will stand outside in the dark, breathing heavily. Humans will damage that the trust he will hold up that the damage not and ask why his childhood file contained Ra's name. Ras will finally say what he has spent hours refusing to believe. He will tell Tioman that his missing brother's name was damaged. Tioman's face will change. Ras will continue. Demi disappeared after their parents' death. He was adopted. Ras will search for him for years. Every clue brought him to boardroom. Every recent clue has brought him closer to the Akayas family. Tioman will step back as it Ras has seen him. He will say that Ras is lying because he wants revenge against Hakan. Ras will not try to convince him emotionally. He will simply give Tioman one detail from his childhood that no stronger should know. Perhaps a smile about dummy carriers are scarce, a game they play, or a sentence their mother used to say. Tioman will suddenly remember part of it. Not everything, just enough, and that will be worse. He will leave without another word. Ras will stay behind holding that the damaged evidence, releasing that the after years of searching, finding his brother may not bring that the happiness be image. If the man truly is damaged, then his brother has grew up inside that the very familiar is learned to distract. He has a different name, different memory, different loyalties, and a different life. Ras may have found Demi, but Demi may no longer exist in the way Ras remembered him. The section may close with Hacker receiving a phone call. One of his men will tell him that two people entered that the school achieved before they arrived. Hakan will ask who. The answer will be simple as Andy Thomas. Hakan will so sit down for the first time. The powerful man who always seemed prepared will understand that the secret is no longer under his control, and somewhere else human will stand alone beside that the sea looking at his reflection while one repeat inside his mind. Damir, he will whisper the name quietly. The another chill her memory will return. A little boy calling him brother. The boy has Ra's face. The name one life. The next part of the 17 may move away from the immediately danger of the fire and become more personal. The woman will spend that the morning try to prove that Ras is wrong. That is important because the woman will not accept such a half-changing trust simply because a damaged paper and a memory point in the same direction. He has followed as a woman for the years. His family, his school, his anger, his mistake, and even that the way people fear him all belong to that identity. If Aras is right, accepting that the same time we will feel like accepting that a large part of his life was worried by other people he may bring by visiting that the hospital where he was written as a child. He feels that the receptionist will wait. There are no record under his name. Thomas will insist he will give Dad the heir's second name and every detail. He is now eventually an older employee may remember that the record from the previous will transfer to another archive. Thomas will request access but that the woman will become nervous after seeing his family name. She will tell him that only a legal guardian can request his document. Thomas will immediately understand that Hakan has protected Daddy's secret from every direction. Instead of going home, he will find Sarah's condition may still be weak after everything he has suffered. And he will recognize Yoman that the moment he entered. Yoman will sit beside him and place the damaged school note on the table. He will ask one question, who I am. Lahad will look away. Yoman will lose patience. He has never been good at waiting, especially when he feels powerless. He may grab at the edge of the table and damage an answer. Sahar will tell him that angry is exactly what Hakan has always used to control him. Whenever Roman gets close to the trust, someone give him a new enemy. He become angry with that the person stop asking that the real question. These statements will hit human heart because he has remembered how often Hakan encouraged his hatred for Aras. Every conflict now looked different. Sahar made not real everything because he now that the dangers, but he will confirm one important fact. Human did not answer that the Kaya family in the way he was told. There was another name before humans. They were documented that disappears humans. There were also child. Humans will ask Twitter that the child was Aras. Silence will become that the answer. Meanwhile, Aras will struggle with a completely different problem. He has dreamed about the finding damage since he was 5 years old. Now that he may be starting directly in front of him, Raz does not know what to do. His friend at the dorm will accept him to be happy. One of them may say that the set is finally over. Raz will respond that nothing is over. A brother is not a lost. Violence can simply be returned to his owner. Tioman does not remember being damaged and Raz cannot force a relationship into existence. This will show a more mature side of Raz. Either he may fight, have run to Tioman and admit that he accepts that the trust. Now he will understand that Tioman needs space to process when he has been stolen for him. Leila will also hear pieces of the story. He may learn from Tioman that Raz believed they were brothers before that the Kayas entered their life. Their revelations will completely change the way she sees about young men. Their hatred suddenly look tragic rather than just simple. Every fight between them because painful because they may have attracting that the one person they one love much. Leila will want to speak to Raz but will hesitate. She is still hurt but he used secrecy as protection. At the same time she finally understands the size of the burden he has carried. He did not come to the boardroom chasing money or the revenge. He came become a 5-year-old child. Made a promise to find his brother and never stopping keeping it. When they finally meet, Leila will not immediately forgive him. Their sin can be quiet rather than dramatic. She may tell him she understands him more now, but understand that not erase what happened between them. Raz will accept that. He will say he is not asking her to forget anything. He only wanted the chain to stop flying. This could be the first time Raz tells Leila his complete story in his one word. He may describe that the last day he remembered during the damage, the confession after losing their parents. The moment adults separated them and that the years he spent asking questions no one wanted to answer, he may explain that the searching became that one thing that gave him life direction. Sela will ask what he will do if Thomas really is damaged. Ras will say something simple whenever he need. Now I will take him back. Now he will become my brothers again. So whenever he needs the answer may help Layla see that Ras is changing. The story will then turn toward Dugakan while a rival inside that the Akaya's family circle has already distracted the balance. Dogakan may be representatives has finally and the public, someone who know how to smile while gathering information, unlike Tioman who show his angry openly. Dogakans can be dangerous because people do not see his attention until he has already acted. Hacker may ask Dogakans for help. He will not tell him that the full trust, but may see that Ras is laying to damage that the family using all slide. Dogakan will offer to handle that the problem quietly. Hakan will warn him not to hurt Layla. This detail will tell where Hakan's weakness lies. Dogakans may bring by approaching Sela as a sportive family friend. He will tell her that everyone is worried about her and that Ras his choices seeing arriving in the boardroom. Sela will immediately understand what he is doing instead of wagging. She may let him think he is succeeding. She will ask questions about Hakan's old family friend and with her Dogakans remember Tioman has a young child. Together will answer too carefully. Slela will bring suspicion at the same time. Dennis will become one of the few people Tioman can speak to without feeling judged. She sees his reaction to the fire. She knows something inside him is breaking. Roman may intentionally push her away, but Dennis will refuse to leave simply because he becomes rude. She may tell him that he does not have to choose between Thomas and being with her he was before. The trust about his children cannot erase that the years he has always lied. If his name was damaged, that he does not name Tioman was fake. It means someone took away his right to know about part of himself. This may become one of the strongest emotional ideas in the series. Tioman's struggles will not only be about discovering his real brother, it will be about deciding which identity comes from the blood memory, love, or the life a person has rebuilt. Dennis must ask whether he remembers, or else Tioman will say no, then he will connect himself. He remembers feeling, he remembers running beside someone. He remembers being afraid in the dark place and now he is not alone. He remembers someone giving him the larger half of a pieces of the breeds. He does not remember that the fair Dennis will smile sadly and tell him that something feeling survive longer than the name. Thomas will relate how much this is what affect him. As meanwhile may serve for the strongest proof. He will torment that even if Thomas began to believe him, Hakan will call that the story is a lie. Aras need evidence that cannot examine it away. He may remember that the adoptions record or DNA could settle that the battles. DNA will seem like a easiest answer, but getting Tioman to agree will not be easy. When Ras asks him Tioman will react badly, he may accuse Ras of treating him like a mystery to solve instead of a person. Ras will apologize but explain that he need to know too. Every crew planned toward Thomas, but Ras is terrified of believing it and being wrong. He has spent his whole life imagining that the day he finds Damir, if he accepts Tioman as his brother without certainty and later discovering it is false, he does not know whether he can survive losing Damir again. The honesty will quiet Thomas. He will agree to the test. He may receive unconditional no ones in the Kyle family can now until they have that the answer. Ras will agree the test will become a secret bond between them. For the first time they will be working together willingly. While waiting for that the result, the relationship will remain uncomfortable. Ras will accidentally date humans like the younger brother. He remembers warning him not to drive dangerously or telling him to eat after speaking a meal. Human will become irritated and tell him to stop acting like his father. Ras will laughter despite himself. Roman will ask what is funny. Ras will say that damage used to mess exactly to that the simpler angry face when Ras told him what to do. Roman's expression will change. He will ask almost exactly what damage was like. Ras will realize this is the worst time Roman has asked about his childhood identity. He will tell him that Damir was stubborn, fearless when he should have been careful and always ready to fight anyone who insulted Aras. Yoman may say that should nothing like him a joke and even Aras will laugh. This small laughter between them can carry more meaning well than a dramatic hug. It will be the first moment where the relationship does not feel like war. Second will notice that the change when he sees us and the Thomas speaking without fighting. He will become deeply worried. He will ask Human what Ras wanted. Thomas will lie and say they were arguing. Hakan will study his face and see that the Roman is hiding something. This reversal will better for years. Hakan has hidden that the trust from Roman. Now Roman is hiding himself for the trust from Hakan. Hakan may call Sabdam and tell her that the situation is becoming dangerous. Their relationship will already be damaged by one their family problem, but secret have a way to forcing enemy to work together. Second will tell her that if Thomas learn everything, the entire family may collapse. Sabnam will ask what everything means. Second will refuse to answer. Even she may realize that she never received that the deepest part of his past. The Nora storyline can also move forward without repeating that the center mysterious. After that, the forced adoptions and the Daniel's devastation. Nora will be emotionally empty. Sabna may believe she has won, but her victory will contain consequences she did not accept. Nuresh will no longer be frightened in the same way because someone who believes she has nothing left to lose becomes harder to control. Nuresh may decide to speak. She now thinks about actions about that the family and perhaps about payment made years ago. She may not know the interior damage secret. But he could understand, remember a strange event from the past. A doctor visited that this villa late at night. Our chills arriving under another name or icon, ordering all photograph removed. And it will approach Nure with anger because of her lost baby. But Nure will tell us something shocking. Sabnam threatens more than her. She threatens anyone Snurek cared about. Snurek is that a terrible choice because she believes there was no safe way out. Dennis will not forgive immediately, but she will understand that this story is larger than one direction. Noura may give Dennis an old key. She will say it belonged to a storage room. Hakan believes no one remembers. Dennis will ask what is inside. Noura will answer his old life. This new clue will bring Dennis directly into the central mystery. Ras will need time to process this. Tiomer may tell him that the trust is rarely as clean as the want. Ras will respond that the Tiomer sounds far too wise for someone who pushed him a few days ago. Tiomer will say he can become stupid again if Ras mixes ease. Their new brotherhood bond will continue growing. This is moment. These save boxes will also contain a list of the name. One name has recently returned to boardroom. Dogakan father, the brother who understands why it disappeared. His father is directly connected to the old operation. Brother Deacon's act, Dogakans will make him move. He may kidnap that the retired police officer or the warehouse witness trying to remove that the last office police people who can confirm that the documents. Leila will discover that the plan by following him. Instead of calling us immediately, she will make that the risky choice to follow because she fears losing that the witness. Gakin will notice he will trap Leila at an isolated location. When Ras calls Helen get no answer, he will immediately know something is wrong. Tioman will see panic on his face. Ras will say Leila, nothing else is needed. The brothers will go together. Issue sequence will demonstrate their transformations. Earlier they found each other while enemies benefit. Now they are against the strongest when they trust each other. Ras will enter from the front of the distance. Ugakan Sioman will find another many way. Inside, Ugakan will tell us that his search has already destroyed enough life. Ras will answer that secret destroy this is life, not to this set. A fight will begin. Ugakan may hold a weapons making that the situation may dangerous than be previous student school conflict. Humans will reach Leila and free her, but Dogagan will escape with part of the evidence. The witness will remain alive. Leila will run to Ras for one. The moment she will forget her unresolved pain and hold him tightly, then she will beg first. Almost embarrassment by now, quickly fear remove every wall between them. Ras will not test her. He will simply ask whether she is safe. Leila will say yes the night. She will make a decision. She will say Ras. She does not know what their future look like when she now she want to find that the trust beside him. It is a perfect solution, romantic reunion. It is a stronger, it is a choice. These sessions and with the Tioman returning into the villa, Hakan will be waiting. He will ask Withers where Tioman has been. Tioman will place a copy of their father's letter on the table. He will tell seconds by now, knowing the Hakan tried to save them alone. 1 second will look bleak for half a second. Then Tioman will continue, but you still stole my life. Hakan's relief disappears. Human tell him that saving a child gave him responsibility, not ownership. He can ask that the question that will lead into the next sections. What happened on the night my parents died? Hakan finally understand there is now ever left to hide. He told Cat the Human and said, your parents was not supposed to die. The night everything changed, the fifth session of the Daha 17 predictions can finally discern that the night had changing that the brother life instead of reliving it through one long explanation that the trust can come through Hakan's confession, surviving witness and the recording, and the returning memories each pieces will correct that the previous one. Hakan will begins by something explaining that Iras and the Tioman father discovered legal business activity controlled by the other Sakaya. He planned to take evidence to the authorities. Hakan found out and they secretly warned him to leave boardroom with his family. A plan was made. The family would disappear for a short time while Hackens help expose that the crime from inside, but someone learned about that this cap Hacken will say he still does not know who betrayed him. The night were sent to the recover that the document and stop that the family from learning. The goal according to the Hacken was intimidations nor murder as will interrupt and as Hacken accepted them to feel better because their parents died by mistake. Second will say no. He have lived with this sequence every day. Aras will accuse him of building a confidential life of this sequence. The confrontation will become physically tense when Tioman will insist that the Hakan finish. Hakan explained that he reaches at this scene after that the attack. Their parents are already dead of the dying. Ras has been taken even by the neighbor and the emergency survived. Damir was trapped near that the burning part of the property. Hacker received him. They will connect with the torment fire memory. The memory remember and the adult carrying him through smoke. That adult was the Hakan. For the first time, one of the Hakan's crime is confirmed by the Thomas sworn memory. Hakan looked at the injured child to a private doctor because he feared his one father man would search his hospital. The decision intensely survived Damir, but that the situation changed. Hakan's father discovered what he has done. He ordered that the child brought under family control. Hakan says his plan to return Damit to Ras one that the danger passed. They say become weak. The order Kayas create a new document. The boy become recovering but he has the memory problem after that the trauma. That Hackers make that decision that will define art their life. He allowed that the new identity to the remind. Ras will ask why Hacker will struggle to the answer. Finally, he said that the damage is starting calling him for confirm that the child was afraid, confused and attracted to the person who stay beside him. After that the fire. Hakan has also recently lost someone important or suffered an emotional wound that make him disappear for the family. He confessed himself that keeping that the boy was prediction, but underneath that excuse was selfishness. He wanted a son. Thomas will run away. Hacker may solely love him. Tioman will answer that love cannot without trust because another form of kidnapping. Hacker will have no defense. This scene can be emotionally complex because Hacker is neither fully slain or newly innocent. He served damaged life and then stole his past. Ras will ask why Hacker hated him. After he came to the boardroom, if he once intended to renege that the brother Hakan will admit that Ras returned him, no physically, Ras was the return to the trust. The moment Hakan say him, he now that the life is buried could collapse every time Ras go close to the Thomas. Hakan said that the 5 years old boy he failed. So he attacked that he treated instead of admitting his guilt. Oman realized that many of his fight will arise very quietly, encouraged by the Hakan. He will ask whether Hakan intentionally turned them against each other. Hakan may also he never directly ordered Oman to hate Aras. Thomas will respond that he did something worse. He allowed him to hate his one brother while knowing that the trust Thomas will leave that the room. Ras may remind for one final question Xiao who betrayed that this Kaplan Hakan say he has suspended someone for the years but never had proof. Ras asked for the name. Hakan gave it. Dogan's father, the family explained Dogan's action. The brother and the Leila will now have enough information to understand that the present dangers. Dogan is also merely protected and knows reputation. If his father order or enable that the attack reopened that the case could lead destroyed to him. Dugakans may holding note that Hakan has starting talking, he had decided to remove evidence permanently. The self-deposit document became his main target. Ras wisely did not keep that the original at the dorm. He gave copy to different people and the story digital version separately. This show grew from the reckless young man who used to carry every crew with him. Duganner will therefore shift his attention to the witness. The interior officer and the warehouse witness are the two people who can connect that the document to a real event. Leila may suggested contracting that the police immediately Ras agreed. Oman is detained because some member of the police may still be connected to powerful family. They decide to approach a prosecutor or investigator outside local influence before they can do so. The warehouse witness disappear. A message arrives on Ras' phone. It shows that the witness tied to the chair Duganan want to original evidence in exchange for his life. Ras will immediately prepare to go. Thomas will refuse to let him go alone. Ras will say that Duganan asked for him. Thomas will answer, he get bored, brother. The line will represent how far they have come. Stella will also want to help, but Ras asks her to remind with Dennis and make sure copy of everything reaches that the authorities if that the brother fail. Leila will hate that the idea but understand it important. This time Ras is not including her from the task. They are making a plan together. The meeting will take part at the remote industrial area near that the water. Duganer will arrive with armed men. Ras carries a man containing with look like original document. The witness is there. Duganin admitted that the back asked us to see that the witness released first. Duganin laughed and said, I still believe this is a fair exchange. Woman hidden nearby will quietly disable one of the vehicle or create another seal. The plan is not simply to fight. Their goal is to keep Duganin taking long enough for the removed recording to capture his confession. Ras being accusing Duganan father of arranging that the attack. Duganan intensely denies it. The anger takes over. He said Ras' father should have accepted that the warning and stay silent. People who challenge powerful family create sequence for another round in the statement is enough to show knowledge. Only someone connected to the event show processes. Ras pushes harder. He asks whether Duganin started that the school fire too. Duganin admits he needed that the chief destroy. He says no one was spotted to be seriously hurt. The language mirror Hakan explanation of the original tragedy. Ras realizes that a new generation is repeated that the same excuse. I am not wanted to scare them. I didn't mean for anyone to die. Power keep using that the same word. Ras tell Duganin this is exactly how families like they continue to destroy people. No one accepts responsibility because every crime is described as an accident caused by someone else. Duganin become angry enough to order that the witness killed. This is when Thomas Murphy attacked one of the men while Ras reaches that the witness. Escorted fight began. Ras and the Thomas were together but are outnumbered. The witness kept toward that the road. Duganan goes after him. Thomas follow. At the edge of the industrial dog, Thomas and the Dugakan fight. Thomas has spent air using anger without control, but this fight will be different. He has a reason to stop Dugakans, not simply hurt him. Dugakans may taunt him for calling him Demi. He said Yoman does not know which family he belonged to. Yoman stop instead of becoming more violent. He answered about name belonging to be neither belong to you. This shows his identity conflict reaching a healthier place. Duganan pulls a weapon. Ras see it, he runs toward Diomans. A shot is fired for one terrible sound that the audience will not know who has been it. Ras and the Dioman fell. Then Ras realized that the bullet attacked his shoulder. He pushed Dioman out of the way. Dioman face is changing completely. A memory return. Years ago, during that the original fires, young Ras pushes Damir away from falling debris and was injured. History has repeated itself. This time, Tioman refuses to lose his brother. He's stopping Casey to Gannon and stay with Ras. The choice is important. Earlier, Tioman's anger would have made revenge more important than everything else. Now, his brother matters more. Police will arrive before Zela successfully sent out the recording evidence and the locations. Dugannon tried to escape by boat but is captured or forced to flee without his resources. If that the series wanted to keep him as a future antagonist, he may escape at the final second if God he has rested can close this part of the story. Ras will be taken to the hospital. Tioman will remain beside him. The injury is not life-threatening, but Tioman will be shaken. But Ras wake, he finds Tioman sleeping in a chair near the bed. He smiles. Tioman wake and immediately become angry, asking why Ras pushed him. Ras say because I am your other brother. Tioman say this is not a legal excuse for stupidity. Ras laughed and then regret it because his shoulder hurt. This scene can provide warmth after that the actions. Layla arrives. Her fear will be obsessed. He will want to scold Ras but cannot hide the relief. Ras may reach for her hand. She let him. No long romanticism is needed. Their relationship now rests is honesty created through actions. Dennis also leave arrive for the torment. She sees how shaken he is and quite stand close to him. The young character who began the story divided by the class jealousy, anger and the family pressure has slowly become a group united against inheritance secret. But the other conflicts are not finished. Hakons may visit at the hospital. Tioman will not allow him to enter Aras's room at first. Hakon will say he only wants to now with her. Aras is safe. Tioman will answer that the Hakon lost that the right to ask him for the others. Aras overhand tells Tioman to let him enter. Hakon sits beside at the bed for a moment. Neither speak. Then Ras are with her. Ras really served from a fire. Hakon says yes. Ras tell him this for one thing. Thank you. Hakon is rock. Ras continue. For everything after that, I did forgive you. This balanced response will show Ras emotional growth. Gratitude does not require forgiveness. Anger does not require denial. In fact, Hakan escaped it. He may ask say he does not deserve more. The family sequence contained outside that the hospital. Sabnam discovered that the investigation are receiving all business record. Her one action and threat may also some under examination. Noor decided to give a full statement. Danny spot her one through the relationship remained damaged. Noor says she cannot change why she did, but she can stop helping powerful people hide what they do. This gives a powerful, meaningful part forward. Leila confronts Sabnam. She tells her that the fear justifies other people's life. Sabnam responds that this Leila is young and believes trust automatically makes everything better. Leila says maybe trust does not make things better immediately, but lies has the holding showing what they create. They are generally different become clear. The younger characters are trying to break patterns they are accepted. After leaving hospital, Aras and the two men will visit their parents' grave together. This scene can be one of the most emotional moments in this script. Ras has visited many times alone. Now he arrives with the brother. He promised to find. He stands silently for a moment because that the world he imagines saying for years suddenly feel impossible to Oman, maybe even more uncomfortable. This is his parent, but he does not remember enough to feel. The way he thinks he should ask notice, he tell him there is no crime. Way to the grieve something you were not allowed to remember. Tioman heel and place a flower down. He say, I am sorry I took so long. Ras immediately tell him not to apologize. Tioman look at him and releases. Ras understand that the feeling because Ras spent years believing himself to the brothers stand together. Ras may quietly tell their brother found him. They will complete that the promise they began his journey, but that the story should not end there. When they return to the self-deposit evidence, they discover one file and evidence they have overlooked. It has sailed separately and marked with a date several weeks after his parents died. This should be impossible. Their father should not have created after his death. The handwriting is not their father. Inside it is a photograph. The photograph shows Hakan Dogan's father and another person's face has been partly torn away. On the back is the message, the children must never learn who ordered it. Ross realizes that even hacker may know now that the full trust someone manipulated about family commented that the photograph were that the light. A small part of the third person remained faintly visible. Layla recognized that the person her expression changing. She said, I know who this is. The secret has just moved closer to her. One side of the family brother found a bigger mysterious begun. The final section can take that the story behind that the destroyed and damage is the and established the fragmentation for the 17 as original search and reaches its answer. But the series can also ask a harder question: what happened after someone finds when they spend their whole life searching for? Layla will study that the damaged photograph, the third person may be someone she remembers from childhood as a trusted relative, business advertiser, or a family friend. He was never predicted as the danger because truly powerful people often avoid attention. She may identify him as her grandfather, closely advertiser, a man named in her company document but rarely discussed. Now Hakan will react strongly, but Layla show him that the image is out that the man died years ago. Ras asked why that the matter. Hakan explained that the advertiser controlled many of the older Akaya's financial operation. If anyone could have ordered that the attack without Hakan's father knowing every detail, it was him. To comment him with her that the man had any reason to hurt his parents personally. Hakan said their father had described account that they lead directly to him. The mysterious being moving him family drama toward a wither network, however, that the story should not immediately throw that the character into another endless searches. They first need to face that the changing into their life together. Thomas may decide where to live, or as someone excusing he will live at the villa. Tioman surprised him by saying he is not ready. Ras becomes frustrated. Tioman explained that the villa contained his childhood too, yet much of his history there was buried on a lie, but that the memories therefore are real. Running away immediately will feel like allowing Hakan's secret to decide everything again. Ras will understand even if he does not like it. Yoman will spend some night at the dorm as well. His first day they can create a lighter part of the story. He is used to comfort and the privacy while the dorm is noisy and the crowded. Ras' friend may enjoy making his uncomfortable. Humans will complain about that the bed. Someone will tell him that the bed did not now owns an Akaya priest has he coming. Human will answer that he is technically not as a Akaya priest anymore. The room becomes silent for a moment. Then Human smile. The joke becomes a sign that he can speak about that the trust without breaking every time. Ras may secretly enjoy having him there. Late at night, the brother Volk tells Thomas asks why Ras never stopping searching. Ras says because Damir was the last person who remembered their family with him. Thomas says he did not remember. Ras answers, you were still there. The simple explanation shows why finding him matter, even memories return. Thomas may confuse that he's scared he will never remember enough to become the brother Ras wants. Ras tells him that he does not need that the old Damir back. This is perhaps the most important emotional conclusion. Ras becomes that the series searching for a child frozen in the memory. Now he has accepted that the person the child become. Ras said unfortunately yes, their bond is finally based on the present rather than only that the past. Layla and Ras will also begin building something new. She may invite him to meet without mystery, family business or the danger. Ras will joke that he does not know whether they are capable of a normal meeting. They go somewhere simple for the first time. They work about ordinary things, plan after school, travel, work, dream. Their matter become that relationship cannot survive if every conversation is about cigarettes. Layla may tell her she wants to study or build a life that is not defined by the Akaya's name. Ras admit he has never planned for into a future because every plan ended. With finding Damir now he has found it. Ras faces an unexpected emptiness. He had needed a dream that belonging to himself. Layla tells him that maybe this is not emptiness, maybe it is a space. Ras like that. The truth their romance become harmful without ignoring what happened. Dennis and Tioman will tell a more different part because Tioman is still emotionally unstable. Dennis may be ready to admit she cares for him, but Tioman feared admitting another person. He tells her that everyone who gets close to him because involved in dangers. Dennis laughed because dad's excuse sound exactly like Ras. Tioman is often angry. She said that the brothers are more alike than either want to admit. Thomas may begin to see it too. Instead of pushing Dennis away, he asks her to stay while he learns how to deal with his life honesty. She agrees, but make it clear she will not become another person responsible for fixing him. Thomas says he will never dare give her dad the job. Their relationships can remain playful while the opening emotionally. Nure's future will become a sample of this sequence, so will give evidence against Abnam and possibly hacken their hurt. Enigmatic created tension because telling that the trust may also expose her one mistake. She accepted that for the first time she saw the responsibility instead of survival through the silent. Dennis may tell her that rebuilding trust will take time. Noor says she now the Mira Aras and the Leila relationship and the Tioman responsibility relationship will hacker forgiveness. He is no longer show and immediately people may lie differently before trust again return. Tabnam may refuse to accept defend. Even if the losses influencing she will still believe he acted to protect their family. She may want Leila that Ras and Tioman are pulling apart everything generations world. Leila answered that the generation also building that the lies. These confrontations could permanently divide him Hacken's story because that the more complicated. He may decide to cooperate with investigator. Doing so could destroy his business and the possibility to charge connected to the identity changes and the later cover up. Roman will ask whether he is going it now after so many years. Hakan will say because keeping Roman by forcing has old is casing him to lose him. For once he will not ask for the forgiveness. He will simply begin telling that the Yoman may not call him father, but he may listen. The smile opening keep that the relationship resilience. The story will then return to the third person in the old photograph as and the Leila investigate company histories. They discovered that the man did not die when everyone believed. Records show money before transfer to a overseas account years later. Someone helped him disappear. Seconds say he never knew. Roman immediately asked that the key questions. If this man survived, where he is now? A new thread answered that this is without risking the process already made. Rather than simply attracting that the character, the unseen figure may be sending message. The first arrive for the hackers. It contained a recent photograph for us and the Tioman together. On the back is written, you feel to keep them apart and the belief of the value insist. Why perhaps each brother carries part of someone that their father protected. Ras may possessive memory object from one side. Tioman may unknowingly possesses another clue places with him before that the fire. They ruin and create a danger that does not exist where they were apart. Hakan will tell him to leave boardroom. Ras refuses. Thomas also refuses. Hakan becomes furious and say they do not understand that the person they are dealing with. Ras responds that everyone has been telling him to stop searching since he held a chill. She is done running from question. Thomas stands beside him. The time there is no argument between that the brother Hackles look at him, perhaps see their family in both faces. He realizes that he cannot control them. He can only decide whenever to help. The hidden clue one comes from the Truman childhood scar during a medical check after recovering some memories. A doctor may mention an old surgical mark that the Truman never questioned. Thomas refuses it. It comes from the fire. The doctor says no, the scar appears to be from a minor procedure done later. There will be a bean and object temporary places under that the skin or an injury treated in as usual way. Thomas remembered that those hospital bracelet he and us compared that the procedure occurred shortly after Hakan received damage. Hackens denies anything ordered it. This means someone reaches damage even while Hacken believed that the child was his and the brother returned to the private doctor who threatened him. The doctor is old now and intensely refuses to speak. When Tioman showed him that the skull, he became nervous. He finally remembered that the mother a small capsule and demanding it be hidden with a boy belonging not inside his boy. The doctor refuses to perform another dangerous but remind that the capsule in a medical push that the later disappear. Hacker may have knowingly stored that the push with Tioman childhood atom. Tioman searches his old room at the bottom of the box for each sash made from the fabric. They find a small metal container. Inside is a memory card or tennis key. Technology from that the time make a memory card possible, or it could be a key to another location. If it is a digital storage device, that file will be in tried. Human joke